The USMTS Modifieds get ready to go 50 times around. This is their way of thanking you for coming out tonight here, race fans, on behalf of everybody with the United States Modified Touring Series, as well as here at the Lucas Oil Speedway, the Diamond Dirt Tracks in Wheatland, Missouri. We want to say thank you for coming out, spending your Saturday night here with us and supporting the United States Modified Touring Series. Backstretch, stand up and wave. These drivers are saluting you here tonight at the Lucas Oil Speedway. As they make their way down the back straightaway, Lucas Oil Speedway, you one of the best modified drivers the nation has to offer. We've got them stacked 4 wide, and Old Glory flies high here tonight at the Diamond Dirt Tracks in Wheatland, Missouri.
AM Pyrotechnics with the fireworks display. Another way to recognize our fans as the cars will stop over in turn number 2, and that gives us an opportunity to welcome in one of the other members of our broadcast team. He's down on the infield tonight. Trenton Berry is with us, having all the coverage from down inside. And he was also the one that was helping with the redraw. And I don't know what to say about it, Trenton. Whenever you put Derek Ramirez, who's won 3 straight here at Lucas Oil Speedway, in the very front row, man, you don't make it very appealing for everybody else.
Boy, it's going to be tough to top that 4R of Ramirez. Rodney can certainly do it. Anybody really inside of that redraw has got a good shot. It's not often we see a winner come outside of that top 8 for the redraw. It occasionally happens. Sometimes a guy will slide in through a B main that just missed on it early in the night and can push their way forward in the feature event. But boy, there's a lot of hay right up in the front of this one. These are some heavy hitters right here, guys that have ran well, consistently ran well, champions of all sorts of different disciplines. So yeah, Rodney and Derek on the front row is going to be a show in itself.
All right, Trenton, thank you very much. We'll talk to you as the evening goes along. They will get everyone back into 2 wide formation after the flags are collected. And see a little bit of an issue with Hughes over there in turn number 3. He was getting a push from the Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew, and wonder if there's more wrong with Jason Hughes than what we know, or if he is just laying back and letting everyone pass before he takes his spot back. But it's not a good sign when you got to start the night getting a push from the safety crew.
No, and, we saw that a little bit earlier this evening. Sanders had to be pushed out for qualifying efforts. I didn't catch whether or not they had to push him for heat race. So, again, something to keep an eye on. It may just be an issue with the starter itself, which in that case should be just fine, but you never know if something else may be the cause of the issues on the 12 car. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. As we tighten things up, Trenton Berry, let's go down to you. It's pick'em time. Who you got here tonight?
Man, you'd be a fool to pick against the 4R of Derek Ramirez, but that's not very spicy. I'll let one of you guys take him. I'll take the 60 of Dan Ebert. I was really impressed with how well he heat raced and how much maneuverability that Mullins race car had.
Shane, we're going to go with you next.
You're gonna wait for somebody to not take Derek Ramirez, right? I'm going to go ahead and take him. He's on the front row. He's won here 3 straight times. I'll take the low-hanging fruit.
I was giving you that opportunity.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
It's your sandbox. I'm just happy to play in it tonight. I'm going to look on the outside of row number 2. Tyler Wolf has showed a ton of speed at times this year. I think he's going to get it done here tonight. No disrespect to Rodney Sanders out there on the outside of the front row. He's going to be tough here tonight as well. We rack them, stack them, lights are out. Lucas Oil Speedway, here come the USMTS Modifieds. It's a field of rolling thunder as they roll off into turns 1 and 2. Sanders, he'll grab the early lead. A pair of 4s battling for second. Tyler Wolf takes over the early runner-up spot. Ramirez down to the bottom of the speedway. He's got the 60 Ebert following as the field files off of turn 4.
Yeah, you picked T. Wolf. You're going to go ahead and talk about him all night long now that he's running in second. He's got the crosshairs on the back bumper of Rodney Sanders, but Sanders out to a 5-car length advantage, and this is still very, very early in the race. With this being 50 laps, it's all about conserving tires, making sure you've got your car there towards the end, and keeping up with how this track is going to change as the rubber gets laid down. There are going to be a lot of items change with how you handle? Do you go high? Do you go low? What's going to work best for your car, and what do you have it set up for whenever the night finally draws to an end and you get closer to that lap 50?
Absolutely. And, I know it is early in this race, but you've got to give a tip of the cap right now to A.J. Hoff, that 55H right now battling on screen with the 60 of Ebert. Hoff really looking good here early tonight. We'll have to see where he stacks up at the end of this 50-lap A feature, but a good run for the 55H, somebody we see sparingly on the USMTS Tour.
Yeah, only a couple of wins in a modified, has yet to win this year. He did win at Chateau last year back in 2022.
I promise you a top 5 result for the 55H tonight, and he's going to leave here feeling like a winner, as again has Dan Ebert draped all over the backside. Right behind them, Terry Phillips trying to sneak into that battle. Now you're watching Sanders lead the field down the back straightaway off into turns 3 and 4.
So Terry Phillips, who started back in 8th, he's up to 6th. He's jumped up a couple of spots. Rodney Sanders, who was on the front row, he leads Tyler Wolf now. That lead only about a half of a second, as we are only 6 laps in and 44 laps left. Terry Phillips, a 2-time winner here at Lucas Oil Speedway in this USMTS division. He won in 2012 and 2014 in the Slick Mist Shootout series that we had. Derek Ramirez, we mentioned he is a 3-time winner, and Tyler Wolf, the 4W. He is starting to get closer and closer to Rodney Sanders in that battle for the lead.
Yeah, that lead was half a second. It shrank to nearly just a car length as Wolf, following Sanders for the most part around the speedway. He took the opportunity there a couple of laps ago to try a different line, see if he had anything for the 20, lost some ground, but again, quickly that ground dissipating as Tyler Wolf, a car length and a half behind car 20.
Tyler Wolf has come to Lucas Oil Speedway on a handful of occasions. Came in back on June 29th, got a DNF. He was here as well as Terry Phillips, and it was not a good night for the USMTS on that evening. Both of those cars had some serious issues, and you can see Tyler Wolf. He is able to get up along inside the 20 of Rodney Sanders, and now he'll jump the cushion. He's on the razor's edge, and it came back to slice him on the top side of turn number 4. The Boone's Barbecue caution will come out for the driver that was making a run towards the front. Tyler Wolf will end up spinning around, bang the wall. He's going to have to go back to the back, and what a tough break as you get a look at it on the Lucas Oil Products replay. Over the cushion he goes. And once you get up into no man's land, it is tough to recover.
Yeah, for those of you at home following us along on Race and Dirt, a dual broadcast here tonight, they've got the FK Rod-Ins replay going to show you the same thing. Just again, Wolf got up on the top side of the speedway where it flattens off and just lost the handle on the 4W, slapped the wall with the right rear quarter. And unfortunately, Wolf, now he's got a long road to hose. He's going to have to tag the back of the field.
So he will go back to the back of the pack. They'll get everyone else lined out, and that will give us an opportunity to step away. 10 laps down, 40 laps remain, and Rodney Sanders, now that he will withstand the charge from Tyler Wolf, can he hold off Derek Ramirez, who will now be on his back bumper? It's Night of Speed from here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Welcome back to Lucas Oil Speedway here in Wheatland, Missouri. Slick Mist Show Me Shootout night as the USMTS is supposed to be on a 3-race swing through the Show Me state. The first 2 nights got washed, but we are at Wheatland, Missouri for night number 3, and it has been Rodney Sanders after holding off Tyler Wolf, hard charging back in second. So a lot of history with the USMTS over the years. Last 5 winners here at Slick Mist Show Me Shootout. Derek Ramirez, the winner in 22, 21, and 20. He has won 3 straight. Rodney Sanders won it back in 19. And Stormy Scott, one of the Scott brothers, he won it back in 18. Can Derek Ramirez hold on and win 4 in a row? After that restart, not looking real great as Rodney Sanders gets the whole shot. He is out by 6 car lengths. Sanders comes charging back. And TP, Terry Phillips, he is up in it. The 75 is now up into a podium position up in 3rd as he boots A.J. Hoff back to 4th.
A.J. Hoff still inside the top 5, though, as again, Ebert just behind him going to go to work here. We're looking at the 75 of Terry Phillips up in front of them. He's trying to reel in the 4R of Ramirez. Ramirez now in the runner-up spot. He's got the catbird seat. You kind of wonder, all the experience Ramirez has around here going for the 4-peat here tonight. Is he just sitting back, waiting, like you said, saving tires, watching Rodney? Once they come up on light traffic, you wonder if that's when the 4R will make his move.
Battle for fourth right now. A.J. Hoff will get around Dan Ebert. Pass for position moves him up into fourth. Top three cars all on a breakaway right now. They're already into turns 1 and 2, and A.J. Hoff is just barely at the flag stand by the time those three cars pass underneath. Look deeper in the field at A.J. Hoff, Dan Ebert, and how about Jason Hughes, the multiple-time champ in the United States Modified Touring Series. Didn't matter if he had to get a push start or not. Once he gets going, he's pretty much bad fast. He won back in 2010, and then he won 3 straight from 2015 to 2017 with USMTS National Championships.
Yeah, Hughes started 12th, up 6 spots, now make it 7 as he's going to roll by Ebert this time by the flag stand. Give that spot to Jason Hughes. So Hughes now in the top 5. Ebert still trying to work to his outside, see if he can come back at him. Behind him, Darren Fuqua in the 87. His back must be feeling good as he's trying to challenge just outside of the top 5.
Jason Hughes, a winner this year at Tri-State. That was back in May. But still has yet to win in the USMTS ranks. 8 top 5s, though. He currently sits second in the point standings, 78 points behind, as he is now up into the top 5 easily, still over Dan Ebert, but he's got a ways to go before he catches up with A.J. Hoff.
Ebert working in the 6th spot, then it's Fuqua in 7th. Your leader, though, he's still Rodney Sanders into turns 3 and 4. Sanders about a 5-car length lead over the 4R of Ramirez. 3rd right now sits the 75 of Terry Phillips. 4th is A.J. Hoff. 5th is Hughes. Dan Ebert, Darren Fuqua, they're still dueling it out for 6th and 7th. Fuqua only about a half a car length behind. Car number 60 behind them now. It's the 0-2 of Mullins. Mullins trying to reel them both in off the bottom of turn 2.
Told you it was odd to see all the way in the back of the pack someone the ranks of Jake O'Neill starting back in row 12. Well, he's passed 11 cars already. Started 23rd, and he is now up to 12th. So he is the hard charger far and away. He's looking to break into the top 10. He's got to get past Joe Duvall and Nick Bittinger to be able to do that.
Mullins 16th to 8th as well. So you're talking about hard chargers. Got to keep your eye on the 0-2 of Mullins as we're watching Rodney Sanders and Derek Ramirez march down the back straight away. Sanders right now marching to the beat of his own drum, about 8 car lengths out in front of the 4R.
8 car lengths equates into about 0.8 of a second over Derek Ramirez, about the same gap back to Terry Phillips. A.J. Hoff was able to get around Jason Hughes. For Rodney Sanders, on the year, it's been a pretty good year for the man from Happy, Texas. 2 wins on the year. He won at Deer Creek 2 times. He's won 11 total times on the series. 14 wins a year ago. And there you see Terry Phillips, pilot of the 75 from just down the road in Springfield, Missouri. The only wins he has had, as he has announced this year, no more late model racing for Terry Phillips. That was really where he kind of cut his teeth, following in his dad's footsteps, running a late model, but he has decided to put a full-time focus not only on running in the USMTS, but the Bloodline chassis manufacturing product that he has, putting more and more of a focus on that. And I think now that he's been able to focus in and kind of narrow down where all of his attention goes, really kind of serving him well as he's won a couple times.
Yeah, absolutely. Those Bloodline race cars starting to round into shape as Phillips looking good here in the 3rd spot. Now Jason Hughes pressuring A.J. Hoff for 4th and 5th. That side-by-side battle into 3 and 4. Hughes will flash down to the bottom of the racetrack, slide up. Hoff going to try to turn it underneath him. They're nearly side-by-side down the front straightaway back into 1 and 2.
At the midway point, 25 laps down, 25 laps to go for the United States Modified Touring Series. After 2 nights getting washed out, finally able to get back to life. And even after that big break, I think it was still pretty nice to see 38 cars make their way in. Looked a little questionable early on in the evening that they would get up to a car count like this, but whenever you have as many local drivers that are pretty darn competitive, including Jeff Cutshaw there in the number 98 that had a good quick time during qualifying, you start to see that car count build up with local talent as well as some of the nation's best.
Here's where Rodney Sanders is going to have to earn his keep here tonight. He's got a rolling roadblock right in front of him, the 10B of Brandon Givens, the 38 of Persley, as the 4R of Ramirez. He's using that to his advantage to chip away at the lead. Sanders back to the top side of turns 1 and 2. Ramirez following him. Sanders still unable to do anything with either the 10B or the 38C. Now Brandon Givens, he's side by side with Sanders. Sanders will choose the middle part of the racetrack. Can't squeak by the 38 just yet, though, as Ramirez still hunting in second.
Darren Fuquay way up over the berm, looking to get around Tanner Mullins. Mullins in that pink 02, looking to the inside is Fuquay. Not able to make the pass here, and Reggie Jackson, one of the lap cars in the 33 to the inside. And as they start to get with lap traffic, you start to see that difference between first and second and third start to dwindle away. It was well over a second advantage between each of those spots. It got inside that as they got bunched up in lap traffic, but now that they've navigated it somewhat well, you're starting to see Rodney Sanders build that lead back out. He's up to almost a second over Ramirez.
Tanner Mullins again on the move, battling with A.J. Hoff. He'll slide up in front of the 55. He's now into the top 6 as again we turn our attention to the leaders. Sanders has stretched the lead once again, but now he's caught lap traffic again. He's got Will Krupp to his outside. Sanders tries the bottom. Krupp better off the top of the speedway. So Sanders going to have to try it again. Back into 1 and 2 is Ramirez. Going to have to go to work. The gap 1.4 seconds the last time by. Ramirez going to have to find something as Sanders trying to run away.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's going to have to find something, but he's going to have the help of a caution possibly to shrink this field back up and get to within the back bumper of Rodney Sanders, because the way the lap traffic is now, Eric, there's a big enough gap and they're spread out enough to where Rodney Sanders should be able to pick his way through, choosing just about any line that he wants to get around all of that lap traffic. Terry Phillips still running in third. Look to the inside of the lap traffic again. Jason Hughes has worked up to fourth. That's where he sits as Phillips looks to split 2 cars. A little bit of a rub there as he worked to the outside of Gibbons. Had to jump out of the accelerator and go up to the top side back behind Persley.
Worth mentioning, we're keeping track of our big movers. Jake O'Neill currently in the 9th spot after starting 23rd. Tanner Mullins currently 6th after starting 16th. So a couple of guys that if they get a caution, they could make some noise here in this one as well. Hughes on your screen, working down the back straightaway into 3 and 4, sits in the 4th spot. Phillips up in front of him off of 4, dealing with 3 lap cars. He's going to race by the 10B of Givens back into 1 and 2.
Continue to turn green flag laps, and Rodney Sanders has gotten out to 1.5 seconds over Derek Ramirez. Terry Phillips starting to get through lap traffic as well, riding in third. So as long as he can stay out of trouble and at least stay within some type of distance to where he can at least see at Derek Ramirez and Rodney Sanders, got to like the position he's in as well to at least be there and pounce if anything happens and breaks on those top 2 cars.
Your leaders through turns 3 and 4. Sanders going to click off lap 38. Right now, Hughes, Ebert, and the 02 of Mullins working down the front straightaway. Those 3 working for 4th, 5th, and 6th. They rotate back into turns 1 and 2. Mullins about a car length and a half. Now 2 lengths behind the 60 of Ebert as they march down the back straightaway into 3 and 4 once again.
Closing in on 10 laps to go in our 50-lap main event here for the United States Modified Touring Series. And after Rodney Sanders was able to stay away from Tyler Wolff, and Wolff had that spin early on in the race, literally took himself out, nobody's really had anything for Rodney Sanders since then. Tyler Wolff was mounting a charge, just jumped the cushion. Tyler's fought back to 11th. So give him kudos to go all the way back to 27th and pick his way through and maybe salvage a top 10 with 10 laps to go. But man, heartbreak for Tyler Wolff. Looked like he, at least for the time being, may have been the only one that had anything for Rodney Sanders.
Lead now just down to over a second as Ramirez finding some speed late, trying to close as Sanders was dealing with traffic. Behind him, the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th is tightened up between Hughes, Ebert, and Tanner Mullins. Those 3 almost literally nose to tail into turns 3 and 4. Hughes working through the middle, Ebert up top, nose to tail once again down the front straightaway. Mullins trying to find the line that he wants as well. 3 different lines through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, That is a sign of a track that really starts to come in towards the end of a run like this, whenever you can go high, middle, low, and give yourself multiple options. And for the most part, it's stayed pretty smooth. We've had a lot of rain move through the area over the last week. And for the track to be able to withstand what it has so far, not really rut up, not a lot of character in this track right now, but multiple lanes to be able to run in, and Dan Ebert using the high one to perfection, working to the outside of Hughes.
Mullins going to try to follow him as Hughes. Problem on the 12, he breaks, he's into the infield. Jason Hughes, unfortunately, his night coming to an end with 6 laps to go. That hands over the 4 spot to Ebert. Ebert still has the 0-2 of Mullins on his tail down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Ebert on the bottom, Mullins up top. Those two march off of turn 4 as we've got 5 laps to go for your leader, Rodney Sanders.
Boy, tough break for Hughes as he was running in the top 5, had been there all night, and now he is out, and Rodney Sanders out to a 1.3 second lead with 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go here tonight at the Slick Mist Show Me Shootout. As Rodney Sanders looking to put an end to a three-peat of wins by the 4R of Derek Ramirez. Ramirez still trying to find something late, a miracle, and pull off a 4-peat. Sanders looking to end it here tonight.
Still more lap traffic that Sanders is having to deal with. Working to the inside down the backstretch, making it look pretty easy right now is Ebert ahead of Mullins. Mullins over Zach Vanderbeek, so the 33Z having a decent run. He's up into 6th right now.
Caden Carter out of a B feature running 7th, and it's Derek Fuqua 8th. Jake O'Neill is 9th, and Jim Chisholm, a youngster coming from the tail end of the field, right now sits, well, he just passed O'Neill for 9th, so now O'Neill back to 10th. 1 lap to go, this time by the flag stand. Rodney Sanders through turns 3 and 4, dealing with lap traffic, but a comfortable 1.563 second lead down the back straightaway into 3 and 4 for the final time. Off of turn number 4, Rodney Sanders will do it tonight. He'll end the win streak. He wins the Slick Mist Show Me Shootout.
Rodney Sanders, for the first time since 2019, will win here at Lucas Oil Speedway. He was a champion in the United States Modified Touring Series that year, and he will win over Derek Ramirez, breaking his string of 3 straight. Terry Phillips able to jump up from 8th to 3rd after the redraw. Dan Ebert 4th, Tanner Mullins in 5th. The rest of your top 10, Vanderbeek, Caden Carter with a good run, and how about Jim Chisholm, able to salvage in 8th, Darren Fuqua in 9th, and Jake O'Neill starting all the way at the back. He's up to 10th. Tyler Wolf, after jumping the cushion, rallies back to finish 11th. Nick Bittinger, a staple here at Lucas Oil Speedway, in 13th. Big Daddy Joe Dufall in 18th, and your current point leader Ryan Middaugh and Kyle Brown, good run for him to come home in 20th. Rodney Sanders will win here on Night of Speed. Slick Mist Show Me Shootout victorious here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks. We will hear from Rodney when we return. He's crossed the scales and he's on his way back out to the front stretch, a winner here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks.